What's up, everybody? My name's Parasite. Welcome back to the Jose Mourinho Challenge with Sporting. Today we start our second season with Sporting, our first full season at Sporting, and we're starting in the Europa Conference League Path third qualifying round against Celje, a Slovenian club that we shouldn't have any problems with, but we'll see. We've had to do a lot of business. If you did not watch the last episode, the transfer special, we have done a lot of business. We started off the transfer window after our loans went back and people we had loaned out came back. We started with $4 million in the transfer budget. That's what the club gave us. And we were $60,000 over the wage budget. We were in a terrible position financially. We could not make any signings. We couldn't do anything unless we somehow fixed that. And fix that I did. We currently have $20 million in the transfer budget and $82,000 available to us in the wage budget. And we have signed some high-profile players. We have made one major sale, but I kind of think it's something we had to do. To put this club in a position to get better, we had to make some sales. We had to get rid of a lot of people that weren't on kind of wages they deserved to be on. There were a lot of players on really high wages that just were not ever going to be involved in the first team. So we let them go. Brought in some replacements. We look at the transfer history. Start off with the outs. First two we already knew about. Most of them are just players loaned out or just players that barely played. That even some players on the B team and the under-19s and stuff that just weren't ever going to be anything. That I just want to get as much wage off the books as I can. Most of these sales are that. There is one big sale though. Sebastian Coates has left. Probably our best player. But he's 31 years old. He was also our club captain, but he was 31 years old. He had 2 years left on his contract, and he was not going to sign a new contract. He'd already told me he was not going to sign a new contract, so it was either play him for the next 2 years and then lose him on a free, or try to fix our financial position now, get rid of him now, get some really good money in for him. $53 million. I think only 40 is up front, but still, that's a lot of money for a 31-year-old. So, I mean, it wasn't a move I planned on doing, but once they came in for him, it made sense. So he left, but literally no one else important to the first team left. The only other big kind of quote-unquote big names, Eduardo Enrique, a guy we had loaned out, but it's a decent player, 2.5 stars. He was on like $20K a week, and he was going to be like our 6th midfielder, so no reason to have him on the roster. And then Sporar, guy that I thought might be our third striker this year, but when he got back, I realized he's on $30K a week wages to be our third striker. That ain't going to cut it, so he was sold to Tenerife. Got a couple million for him. Mostly I just wanted him off the books. I don't care if we could sold him on a free. I just wanted him off the books. So to get money for him and sell him get rid of his contract, win-win. So yeah, no one else had really played any minutes for the team last year. Left, just Coates, but we were able to bring in some good players. So first, a few that were already guaranteed to go through that the club had already signed. So biggest one being Michel Abusher. Comes from Switzerland. A very good midfielder. Very balanced. Can play multiple roles. I think he's actually going to be our backup attacking midfielder this year for the most part. But he can play that defensive midfield role. He can play anywhere down the middle. I think he's a very good signing, actually. Kolomuani, just kind of a depth winger. We didn't have much depth on the wings or up front. So to get this guy into do a little depth for both is fine. Just a depth guy, but though Vinagre already knew was coming in. But my first signing was a replacement for Sebastian Coates, and it is another Uruguayan, Sebastian Caceres, 22 years old, a little bit shorter. Coates was like 6'5", he's 5'11", but jumping reach isn't terrible. Physical's very solid. Everything is very he's 14 or above in every category that I really care about except for jumping reach. He's a very good player. $30K a week, so he's much cheaper. Got him for $8 million compared to the $53 we sold Coates for. And he's 9 years younger. I think it was a good business. I think he'll be fine for us. Can we win a Champions League with him? Not sure, but he could definitely be a good bridge for us. That could definitely be a good backup player for us in a couple of years if we find a better player. Our biggest signing, though, for free, though, not in terms of transfer value, but not even in terms of wage, but it's Gareth Bale. We signed Gareth Bale. He's only on $30K a week, and it's only a 1-year deal. There's an extra year if he plays 20 games, But if he sucks, he won't play those 20 games. So I think that's a chance we just had to take. He was the best available free agent on the market that we could sign. He's actually going to play striker for us, not on the wings, because with those physicals, I don't think he can play on the wings. So he's going to be our new striker, because I think he can be a lot more clinical than Thiago Tomas was. He might not be that physical beast that he used to be, but I think he could be a real clinical finisher for us. I think he'd be a good striker. The other big signing, Douglas Costa. Yes, Bayern Munich and Juventus, Douglas Costa, has joined for, I think, a 2-year deal, but he's 31, so he's a little bit younger. He'll be in his prime for a little bit longer than Bale. He's just still really good. He's going to be our starting left winger. We needed depth, but if I could get somebody to start, I wanted to get somebody to start, and I think Douglas Costa can start. I think that's a very quality player to be getting in. 31 caps for Brazil. Obviously speaks Portuguese. Just a no-nonsense signing. Our final signing was a new right back because we did not get Pedro Porro. Like I said, after our loans went back, I didn't have any money before then. I had $4 million, and they gave me $30K in the wage budget. So I could not sign Pedro Porro. I did not have the money to sign Pedro Porro. So he left, and then our contract situation went on the downward spiral. We were able to turn around, though, and we've got a replacement. The replacement is Ruben Aguilar, a guy we had at PSG. Just really good. He was really good for us at PSG as a backup. I think he'd be a very good starter for this caliber of team. Again, 13 or above in almost every single category I care about. 12 positioning is a little low, but it seems like fullbacks in general have low positioning, so I'm not too worried about that. Just a really good player. 29 years old, so a little bit on the older side, but still got 3, 4, 5 good years in him, so I think he'd be really good for us. Only 19.75K, so that's pretty cheap. Also, I want to point out that Douglas Costa is only on 17.5K. That is ridiculously cheap. So if we look at the team selection for this next match against Celje, looks like this. Escaya starts at right back because Aguilar is suspended, so that's unfortunate, but Caceres and Inacio start at center back. Vinagre starts at left back because we have got a better left back. I didn't mention this. We have gotten a better left back. It's actually somebody we already owned, but he has come back to us. Nuno Mendes is back at Sporting. PSG had agreed to transfer fee for him, met the release clause. I couldn't do anything about it, but he turned down their contract to stay here at, 12K a week? So I don't really understand why he did that, but he did. So we have the best young left back in the game. We're set at that position now, but Vinagre has to start this game. He's got a little bit of a knock. So Vinagre starts at left back. Polina and Nunez start in the midfield. Santos on the right. Douglas Costa on the left. Gonçalves behind Gareth Bale. He's going to start as a deep lying forward. Can also play poacher. Can also play trequartista. Probably the only roles I'd really want to play him at. Maybe false 9, but I don't know. I think deep lying forward is probably a little bit better than false 9 for him. So yeah, we have Celje away. Let's see how we do. Enjoy the match tonight. You've got all the talent in the world. Just go out there and play your own game. I have faith in all of you. Go out there and make a difference. Do you hope your team can produce today? I don't see why we're not capable of turning up and playing well here. It's never ideal to lose players to suspension, of course, but is it perhaps easier when Ruben Aguilar misses out on what many people consider a more comfortable match for Sporting? There's no such thing as an easy match. It'd be disrespectful to Celje to suggest that. How's the mood in the camp right now? We're in a great place. The atmosphere is really strong, and I think that shows on the pitch. So, this should be a team we shouldn't have to bother with. I mean, it is away from home, and we've got a lot of new players. I'm curious to see how Bale performs, how Douglas Costa performs. I'm pretty confident Caceres will be good just because he looks so good. I don't think his lack of aerial ability is really going to hurt us too bad, because Inacio next to him is decently good in the air, so I think we'll be fine there. There's not really any major target men we really need to be worried about in the Portuguese league. So I think we'll be all right. So far, 35 minutes in, we've had one highlight in 3 shots. And I think we got those first 3 shots in the first 10 minutes. Not the dynamic start to the season I was looking for, but hopefully I just needed a little bit of time to gel. I've got a new striker up top, playing in a role he's not really played a whole lot. There's Pedro Gonçalves getting on in the back of the net. That'll work. Player that has played at this position a little bit. He actually was played on the right wing before I got here. I think he's going to be, he was good last year. I think he's going to be even better this year, playing all season in what I think is his best position, behind the striker, as that shadow striker. Very good finisher. Not as much of a header, but hey, it goes in there. That's nothing Bale brings that Tomas doesn't. He's decently pretty good in the air, so brought a little bit of an aerial presence as well. So I think Bale's just, I don't see how he can be bad, but he might be bad. I think we're doing well, but we can still find another gear to actually take charge of this match. Keep going. You know you have the ability to make a difference. Go out there and prove it. First highlight of the second half comes in the 52nd minute. It's actually a Celje highlight and nearly a goal for the Slovenian side. A free kick, a deep free kick put in. Header just goes wide. They've been in this match more than I would like. Ignacio at the back post nearly gets one of his own, but yeah, they've been far too much in this match. We've defended all right, but we just haven't been able to hit them on the counter or just attack them at all. Santos has a chance here, though. Gonna have to find a ball across. He does find it. It falls to Pedro Gonçalves, but a very good save from their goalkeeper keeps it out. Keeps him from getting his second goal of the game and really putting this game in a pretty strong position for us. Palhinha, he's going to be our main target from corners this year with no more Sebastian Coates. Palhinha's the guy we're going to aim for. He's very good in the air, so I'm looking forward to taking advantage of it. 1-0 after 62 minutes, though. If you told me that when I came into this match, I would not have been happy, and I'm not happy. Douglas Costa has been absolutely terrible. Vinagre, his defense, except for Escaio, our defense has been terrible. I mean, they haven't scored, but still, I think the fact that they've been as good as they have offensively dominated us in possession. I know we're not trying for possession, but still, you should still do better than that against a garbage team. Douglas Costa's coming on. He's on a yellow, and he's playing like crap. Tabata's going to come on. Bale, not been inspiring either, but this is his debut. Who do I take off? I think I'm going to take off Vinagre. On a yellow as well. Also playing like crap. Segovia's going to come in. Just make those 2 subs for now. Not going to go more defensive. I want more goals. So I'm going to keep this going. We are on a little bit more attacking tactic. Demand more. They agree. 78th minute. We have another highlight. It's, again, starting with the Slovenian side. Tackle from Palhinha does win the ball. It looked like it might have been through him at first, but Pedro Gonçalves goes ahead and just loses it immediately. How are we getting dominated for possession so bad? Like I said, I know we're not trying for possession, but still, it should come as a default against a bad team. And this hasn't been good enough. Nunez looking for Pedro Gonçalves. Like, I'd accept it a little bit more if we were creating a buttload of chances, but we're not. So we're literally not doing anything offensively. We've actually created a lot of chances in the second half, though. So, haven't really seen much, but we've had 12 shots compared to 5 in the first half. So, yeah, and we've pulled back possession. So, this has been a much better second half, but 0 goals. That's all that matters, is getting goals. I don't care how many shots we have. None of them go in the back of the net. They're pointless. We need to make our last sub. 82nd minute. Santos is tired, but he's playing well, as is Gonçalves and Bale. Bale's going to come off. Tomas is going to come on. He can play that pressing forward. He can run a little bit more than Bale can. Bale does not have good work rate. Is not that fast. Tomas can run for days. Bring him on to do that role. Someone fresh up top. Maybe he can hit him on the counterattack now that they're tired. Uses definite advantage of having a lot of pace. See if we can get anything in the last 8 minutes here. It's going to start with a throw-in for Segovia. Back to Segovia. Looking to put in a cross towards Ignacio, who's in the box because it is a throw-in. I put our center backs in the box for throw-ins because stuff like that happens where they get opportunities from crosses in. Adon, who is in his last year at the club, he agreed a 1-year extension, or he had a 1-year extension clause in his contract, so I activated that. But he came to me and said he's not signing another deal, so he's not going to be here next year, but he's like 36, 37 years old. So I think losing a 30... goal penalty. Losing an upper 30s goalkeeper, that's your highest paid player. There could be worse things. So we're actually bringing in someone as his replacement. He's going to come in this year. As Escaio puts away the penalty, 2-0. Good position now. He's going to come in this year to be the backup. He's a young player that is the eventual starter. Will it be next year? I don't know. He's only signing a backup contract, so if I don't think he's quite good enough, I can bring in maybe a veteran to play for a year or two. But Martin van der Voort is coming in to be our new goalkeeper. So obviously one of the most high potential goalkeepers in the game. Been a wonder kid in Football Manager for a couple of years. So very excited to get him in the club. He should be joining probably between this match and the next one against Celje, our home match, which is in a couple games. We got a game in the league against Guimarães, I believe, in between. So we'll play that off camera. We'll come back for the second leg. Hopefully we can absolutely smash them in that second leg because they have a sending off, it looks like. So he will miss next match. Don't know if he's actually an important player for them or anything, but obviously I don't know any of their players. But hey, any advantage I'll take is an advantage. So 2-0 from the away leg. Going home shouldn't be an issue. Might even rest a few players because surely we're not going to lose by more than 2 goals at home against a Slovenian side. I think even our backups are still good enough to comfortably be able to put the game away at home. 2-0, maybe not as good as I'd hoped, but the performance in the second half was what I've been looking for. That is what I wanted to see, just not putting the chances away, unfortunately. It took a penalty, but we created so many chances, 16 shots. We just need to be more clinical. A win's a win, but we're going to have to raise our performance levels if we're going to make progress. There were some good things out there, definitely, especially in that second half. But there are things we need to work on. We need to be more clinical. Better teams will take advantage of us if we can't put away our chances. No end-of-match press conference, but Bale makes his debut. We get the win. Escaio, man of the match, goal and an assist. I mean, I was coming in thinking he might be the starter if I couldn't find a better player to replace him, but I think we've got better options now. He's still going to play a big part of this team. He can play left back as well. So he's got that versatility to come off the bench to play either role. I think he's going to be important for us, but I'm really looking forward to using Ruben Aguilar again. So we've got, like I said, we've got one game in between against Vitória Guimarães. First game of the league season, away from home. Then we have our second match against Celje at home. Hopefully a even more comfortable victory to just put it beyond doubt. I want us to kind of set the tone in this second leg and show just how good we can be. And we are back for our second leg against Celje. We played Vitória Guimarães in the opening game of the Liga Portugal season and we beat them 2-1. Might not look convincing, but the performance was convincing. We had like 15 shots, 7 or 8 on target. They had 1 shot on target and they scored it. We probably should have scored more. They shouldn't have scored at all. It was a comfortable victory. It was a good victory, even with a lot of rotation. Ditta played. Vinagre played at left back, even though Mendes was back. I didn't want to rush him into the starting lineup, so I didn't start him immediately. Abusher started. Bragança started. Kolo Muani started. Tabata started. Tomas started. So a lot of rotation. And we still played really well. So with our starters in there, we might be in a pretty good position because Guimarães aren't a bad side, and that was away from home. That was a pretty good win. So now we've got Celje. We've got a little bit of a rotated squad for this one as well, just because I don't think we need to put out the full team. Bale will start, as will Douglas Costa, just because I want to give them as much first-team football as possible since they're new players. Bale kind of learning a new position a little bit, new role, so I want to give Bale as much first-team football as possible. I want to get them in some good form, because I think they could be very good for us. Kolo Muani actually starts on the right wing because he got a goal and an assist in the match in Liga Portugal, so against Guimarães. So yeah, he's going to get the start. He played very well. His goal was superb. A little chip over the goalkeeper that, most would just hammer right into the goalkeeper's chest. He chips it over him. Very good shot. So he gets the start. Bragança starts again at defensive midfield, as does Ugarte. I feel like we can rotate a little bit in there. Pliny and Nunez, good fitness, but they're both going to play a lot this season. I want to give these guys a chance. They're young players with a lot of potential. I want to give them as much first-team football as I can. Nuno Mendes gets his first start of the season. Backline is our starting backline. Aguilar at right back. Mendes at left back. I probably am going to sub out Mendes at some point during the game just because he is just coming back from injury, so I don't want to put too much on his shoulders. So if we're up 1 or 2 goals and it's looking like it's to be expected comfortable victory, then I'll take him out just to rest him a little bit. We've got Segovia and Escaio, who can both play left back off the bench. But we still have our best players off the bench too as well. Polina, Nunez, Abusher was really good in that last game. Santos is a very good winger. Tomas is fast. So we've got options off the bench still, but I hope we won't need them. I thought about putting like third stringers on the bench, but if I do that and they score 2 goals and we need a goal, I would feel pretty bad about not having the options off the bench. So I'm gonna play it a little safe. Play some good players, put some good players on the bench, but I really want to put a lot past them this game. I want you to forget all about that first leg. I want you to go ahead and approach this match with nothing but 100% focus. They're going to be pushing for goals. They know they need to score. So we need to stay strong defensively, trust your teammates, maybe hit them on the counter a few times, get a couple passes, and we can go home happy. Is complacency a worry for you ahead of this match? This team will take nothing for granted. I can assure you for that. How well do you think Rendell Colomwani might play today? I mean, I think Rendell might well surprise a few people out there today. Why have you picked Mendez when it seems like he might not be fully up to speed? He needs the time. He's good to go. If he encounters any setbacks during the match, we'll deal with them accordingly. Need to give him some game time. Need to give him match sharpness. I mean, I can't give him match sharpness if I don't play him. So he's going to play. Probably not a full 90 minutes, but he's going to play. Get comfortable lead. Be able to sub him out. Work him into the team slow. But he's going to be a very important player for us this season. Our first highlight comes in the 22nd minute. Comes with our own throw-in. Got center backs in the box. Let's put in a cross. A little too deep for Ignacio, though. Can't find him in the box. They're going to build from the back by going deep down the field, but Gotcha picks it off. If they just go long all game, I'll be fine with that. I mean, we aren't pushing too high. I might actually change the defensive line, because considering we don't have Coates anymore and don't have to deal with his lack of pace. Like, Caceres is actually pretty quick. Ignacio is not slow. So I might be able to push the line up a little bit this year, but I'm going to stay with the normal line just for now. Oh, nearly another goal. It looked like it could almost been a goalkeeper calamity. Hits off his hands and nearly flies in the back of the net still. But he keeps it out for a corner. Bragantia to take. Ignacio at the near post. Not the main guy we're aiming for, but the main guy we're aiming for isn't on the pitch. Polina is on the bench. So, I mean, probably the best player on the pitch to aim for is Ignacio right now. They're going to have a highlight, it looks like, here in the 30th minute. Starting down our right-hand side, Maximenko. A nice 1-2. But the fullback is there. Aguilar to close him down. He puts in a deep cross. Oh, don't deal with the second ball in. And Celje take the lead. She's a deep cross picked up by their opposing, I'm assuming that's their winger. Is completely unmarked at the back post. That is terrible defending for Nuno Mendes. Just falls off of him. Mendes doesn't close him down. Doesn't close down the angle very good. And Begic at the far post beats Aguilar. Stood no chance in the air. Center back had to give him a little bit of help there, but I mean, of course it's their only shot, but we have to be better. Not a good cross in. We've not looked very good to start this match. Bale looking for Ignacio. Douglas Costa. I need to see something from him today. He didn't play in the last match, so still not going to be too quick to rush to judgment, but he was not good in that first game. He was very not good. He should be. Like, there's no reason for Douglas Costa not to be good. He still has all the physical tools. He still has all the technical tools. He still has 30. He's a 31 cap player for one of the best national teams in the world. He might be 31 years old, but he's, like I said, his physicals are still there. He's not fallen off. He's still towards the end, but I think he's still in his prime. He needs to show it. He needs to dominate competition like this. 6.7? That's not dominating. Gareth Bale, 6.5. That's not dominating. Losing 1-0. That is absolutely not dominating. This has been a dreadful start. They're just controlling possession with ease, passing around us like we're not even there, playing like Barcelona in their prime, and they nearly equalize over the two legs. They nearly equalize in the 39th minute with another header that goes just over. They have 2 shots and nearly have 2 goals. We have plenty of shots, but we're not having good shots. Colomwani, not a very good 1-2. Gareth Bale with a bad ball back. Luckily they go long, so we're able to pick it up and try again. Colomwani down this right-hand side. He's playing as a winger. He is right-footed. So he's playing a winger on this side. He can play inverted winger on the left. He's not actually very comfortable playing on the left, just a left of midfield. A little bit further forward, he's fine. But left of midfield is not very good, but we're training him there. He's going to get used there a little bit if we need him to, but that is a terrible first half. Dominated for possession. Absolutely destroyed for possession. Chances-wise, we shouldn't be losing. We've had 6 shots. They've had 1 shot on target. But when Celje is the more clinical team, you know you're not playing well. Gareth Bale is our striker, and yet the most clinical player on the pitch is some Serbian or Slovenian dude, I'm sure he's probably Slovenian, that no one will ever see at a top division in his lifetime. This is the highlight of that guy's career, yet because he's outplaying Bale. That was not good enough. Absolutely unacceptable. If you play like that in the second half, you will lose. And that will be an embarrassment, not just on you, but on me, on the club as a whole, and especially on all the fans who came out here just to watch you mail it in. I need to see much better effort that second half. First highlight comes almost immediately, 47th minute. Muani, who is on a 6.4, he had a good first game, but he's been awful this game. The worst player on the pitch. So he's probably going to be coming off soon. Especially if they get another goal. Nuno Santos is, chomping at the bits to come in this game. Muani needs to make up for his poor game right now. Maybe with a good ball in. I would put that the opposite of a good ball in. Nearly still works, but that is not a good ball. The winger has to track back just to get his head on it. It does put it across goal and give us a good chance to score, but like every other opportunity in this game, we've done nothing with it. 10 shots, only 4 on target. No clear-cut chances. Hit the woodwork, I think, only once. It's not like we're being unlucky. We're just not being good. We have been terrible. We played way better with way worse players against a way better Guimaraes team. I don't know why they've come in at home. Like, that was away, too. Like, we are at home against a terrible team. And we're playing like crap with Gareth Bale, Douglas Costa, Pedro Gonçalves starting. Not good enough. Absolutely not good enough. Pedro Gonçalves, it's going to be a solo effort by Pedro Gonçalves, I feel like, because no one is helping him. He's playing a one-man game. Wingers are not playing well. Muani's played a little bit better in the second half, but he's tired, and he's still not good. Nuno Santos is coming on. Gonçalves is tired, but he's literally, other than Inacio, he's the only one in the attack that's playing well, so Gareth Bale on a 6.9. He's improved the second half. He was on a 6.5. But that improvement has not resulted in goals. And so what is the point? I don't care if you go from a 6.4 to a 6.9 if you don't help the team score a goal. That's just wasted numbers for me. Need to be much better. Got 7 shots in the second half. We already have more shots in this half than we had all in the first. But something that hasn't changed is all 7 of them have been pointless. They've not gone in. They've rarely gone on target. They've been pointless shots. And I do not care about pointless shots. I care about shots that go in the back of the net, or that at least threaten the goalkeeper. Let's make it look like you're trying to score, as they have a sending off now. Do I push forward looking for the goal that I don't need, just to make myself feel better that we didn't get absolutely destroyed at home by a garbage team? Or do I stick with what we're doing, make sure they don't score, and play it smart? I think I'm going to play it smart. My heart says throw everyone forward and go for a goal. My brain says just play the game you're playing. They probably won't score it. It took their only shot on target to actually score their first. They're not going to get lucky every single time. I'll keep going with what I got out there. Adon having a terrible game. I don't think we're going to miss him too much next season. Aguilar not playing well in his camera debut. Cáceres not playing very well. Free kick here for Gareth Bale. This is a good opportunity for Gareth Bale to hit the ball. Can't even put it on target. You're Gareth freaking Bale. I know you're 33, but you're still Gareth Bale. You were still playing for Tottenham. You were still playing some for, Nuno Santos comes on and gets the goal. About dang time. Took a substitute, but still, like Gareth Bale he was starting last year in the game. He was at Real Madrid and playing a lot of games for them. And he drops down to the Portuguese league against a Slovenian side, and he is invisible. Yeah, I haven't seen him touch the ball. The only touch I see him have was him to hit the free kick into the wall. This is his only contribution to the game. Pedro Gonçalves is absolutely exhausted now. They need 2 goals just to tie. Sent to extra time, so I think we're good. I'm going to bring in Abusher. Last sub, I'm going to keep Bale out there. He needs to do something. I'm going to change his role. Play him as a Trek. Try him as a Trek. Maybe it's just that deep line forward. He does have a decent rating, 7.0. Obviously I want him to score goals, but I just want him to be involved for the most part, because like Tomas wasn't scoring and he wasn't involved. If Bale can at least be involved in the build-up play and help other players score, I'll be happy. But he's not doing that either. Last sub, I talked about how I want Nuno Mendes out, so I will bring in Celje. See the game out. Tell the team to focus. Actually, I'm going to demand more. I want another goal. I don't want to lose. I want to draw against Celje at home. I want to win. Even if it's meaningless, I still want to win. Wins still have meaning, even if their draw would have done the same. Inacio. Back to Ugarte. I'd like to see a good long shot from Ugarte. He's got the ability. Go for goal, but it doesn't find the back of the net. And that's going to be the end of the game. There's going to be a highlight, though. 93rd minute. Straight from their goal kick. Maybe they can get this back pretty quickly, and looks like we're going to. Inacio brings it down. Looks like we might be going on another attack. See if Gareth Bale can be involved. Give the ball away, but Ugarte gets it back. Then gives the ball away. Nuno Santos almost gets there, but not quite. Come on, Bale. Do something. I mean, he's got to get the supply, but still. I want to see him do something. He's not on the highest wage. He's only on a 1-year deal, so I gave myself outs. But he should be good. He's Gareth Bale. He should be good. Looks like we're just going to pass the ball around. Just stay in the game. We are at the 4th minute. The ref blows it there. A 1-1 draw, even though they had 1 shot on target. We had 18 shots, 12 in the second half, double the shots in the second half. Again, we were bad the first half, much better the second half, but we still didn't score enough. We had a bunch of shots, but 1 goal. Not good enough. Not good enough. We need to be blowing away teams like these. Another game where we have a bunch of chances, a bunch of shots, but basically nothing to show for it. They go down and score their only shot on target. Eventually, you will stop getting away with that. Your luck will run out. What did you make of Gareth Bale's bad day in front of goal? He knows the standard we set ourselves here. He'll be the most disappointed in that dressing room. Fans were seemingly amazed that Ruben Aguilera wasn't substituted today. What did you see in his performance that perhaps they didn't? He contributed effectively. I respect the fans enormously, but I'm the manager. Our next leg in the Europa Conference League has already been drawn. Spartak Trnava, the Slovakian side, in the League Path 4th qualifying round. I believe it's the last round before the group stage. Don't quote me on it, but I didn't see any other rounds. Maybe there's a playoff that I don't know about, but hopefully it's the last game before the group stage so we can get right into that and hopefully win the dang thing. Jose Mourinho will come back next. It will be for the Spartak Trnava match. Probably just the second leg. I think I'll come back for the second leg of that in the game against Moreirense. They were actually pretty good last year, Moreirense. Started the season off pretty well, too, in 7th place. So, I think they were 5th. Just 1 spot behind us. They got Europa Conference League as well, so it's a decent team. So, we'll see that. We'll see Spartak Trnava. Hopefully, we can do better than we did today. I mean, I'm happy with the 2-0 away win. It's just drawing 1-1 at home when they're down a man for 20 minutes, and it only took them being down a man for you to score. That's not good enough. We need to be playing much better than that. So I'll see you then, but that's going to be the end of this episode. If you made it this far, why don't you like the video, subscribe, and click the bell. The links to all my socials and my Twitch are in the description. I really appreciate all your support. Thank you all for joining me, and I'll see you next time.